It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. Love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. We're gonna fill our house with happiness, but we'll smother the blues with tenderness. There's room for you.
Hey there, sweet peas. Welcome to another episode of Whip It Up with Will. Today, we're going to make risotto. And that's grade A fancy. Alright, so you're going to need a couple things to make risotto. It's actually not that complicated, but there is technique involved. Going to need a little bit of patience, a lot of stirring. So you're going to need specifically arborio rice. That's the proper rice to use for making risotto. Cool guys on motorcycles driving by. You're gonna need some Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna need some chicken stock, warm in a pot next to it. Gonna need a little bit of white wine. I got some onions that I'm about to pop in to this hot pan with some oil. So do a little bit of oil. We're gonna do a little bit of butter. Okay. Bring it around town. Okay, and then we're gonna put in some rice. That's probably good. Precise measurements. I'll put them at the end. But anyway, you're gonna stir this down a little bit. Cook this down until the rice starts to absorb the butter and the oil, and then we're going to add some white wine. So let me cook this down for a minute, and then we'll do the next step. Alright, so garlic, I forgot to put in with the rice, but I put that in too. I chopped up like 2 cloves of garlic, put that in there with the rice, and now it's just cooking down a little bit with some oil and butter. You're going to do this for like, a minute or two, until you see the rice start to like absorb the butter and oil, and then you're going to take a little bit of white wine. If you have a dry white wine, that would be better, but just a little, that's probably good. Okay, I'm just going to put that down. Wine is an important part of the risotto. I just use whatever cooking wine I have around, or whatever wine Sam's drinking. Currently she's drinking a Moscato, a little sweeter than I would prefer, but I drink red wine, not white, so you work with what you got. So the thing with arborio rice, it's going to keep absorbing liquid. That's basically what the gist is when you're making risotto. That's why we have all this chicken stock here on the side. We're going to continuously be stirring and adding stock to the risotto, like for 10 to 15 minutes. That's pretty much risotto in a nutshell, right? So see how much that wine's already absorbed. That's going to keep happening with the chicken stock. So you're going to grab a ladle. I'm going to switch hands. Okay, and you're just going to ladle in some chicken stock. About that much at a time is good. And then while you're doing that, you're just going to keep stirring. I'm not going to keep doing this one-handed, so I will spill significantly less, but you're just going to keep stirring, keep stirring. Okay, you can start to smell that wine. Right before I poured this in, the wine was starting to cook off. It smells really good. So you're just going to keep stirring this and keep stirring. I've got this at like a medium-high heat. Just going to keep stirring this. Something good to pair with risotto is like steak. or roasted chicken. You can do a pork chop. Risotto just takes time. It's not that hard to do. All right, now see how the texture's already started to change, right? That's because this rice is absorbing that chicken stock so quickly. Okay, so you're gonna take some more stuff. Again, try and spill less than I did. And you're just gonna keep repeating this process. Okay? We don't start adding in the flavors until the very end. Okay? Last things I'm gonna add are gonna be a little bit of frozen peas, and a little bit of, well, more than a little bit of Parmesan cheese, because we're making a garlic Parmesan risotto today. Okay? So, I'm just going to keep repeating this over and over again until we get a consistency that we like and the rice is cooked. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Okay, so we're getting close to the end with the risotto. I got my cheese ready to go on standby. I'm going to add some frozen peas to this, just because I think that adds a little bit of a nice texture and flavor with the garlic Parmesan. So since these peas are frozen, I'm adding them in a little bit earlier than if they were fresh peas, just so they, you know, can be not frozen. Okay, so we're going to mix those in. Almost out of chicken stock, which is fine because we're just about done with it. And we're going to cook this down a little bit longer, okay? But what you want to do to taste it is just taste some of the rice. It should, you know, taste cooked. It's going to taste like chicken stock and wine until you add the Parmesan cheese. The trick with making risotto, and a visual that helps, is Chef Wolfgang Puck. The way he teaches it is he'll have his students put it in a bowl, like a small bowl, and then he'll flip it upside down. And if the risotto holds its form, it's too mushy. If the risotto goes everywhere and is a liquidy mess, that's wrong too. That's too soupy. It's got to be in the middle. So when he lifts the bowl up, it should slowly start to kind of fan out. That's the texture and consistency we want with the risotto. That's the ideal spot. So if it's too gummy, add more chicken stock. If it's too wet, cook it down more and stir. So I'm going to give this a little bit longer. Okay, let's start adding some Parmesan cheese. Again, very precise measurements over here. Okay, now it's going to really start to gum up a little bit. Okay, that's fine. That's normal. That's part of this part. You know, with the cheese, that's getting near the end. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more stock here. Alright, that consistency is almost right where we want it. So, just going to let this cook down a little bit longer. Salt, pepper to taste. And I'll show you the final product in a minute. Alright, here we go. Final product. This is about the consistency you want, right? See how it's like not totally forming together. It's not oatmeal, but it's also not soup. There you go. That's risotto. Some final touches that you can add, or, well, I suggest you add a little bit of salt to taste, some fresh ground pepper, something you can do if you want to be fancy. You can add a little bit of truffle oil at the end, but all these things you would do at the end. So this is how you make homemade risotto. Bon appetit. Like, subscribe, share. Thanks for playing. Bye.